The Preble County Board of Developmental Disabilities has been serving our community for over 50 years. Our programs focus on helping people through our person-centered planning process, receiving services and job training, building social skills, and setting and achieving goals. This approach benefits the community as a whole by creating good citizens and a skilled workforce. We offer a variety of programs including in-home care, community housing, early intervention for children, and more.
Here at the Preble County Board of DD, we rely on DSPs every single day to provide quality services to all of the individuals that we serve. During these uncertain times, we want DSPs to know that we recognize the incredible work that you're doing. We do not take for granted the extra hours that you're putting in or the care and the love that you bring to work. Thank you for your dedicated services, for your heart, for your love. You are changing lives, and we thank you for it.
And just by the time Scott was born, that would have been in 68. And I think we realized with some of our other friends and the children they had that were born about the same time we knew that something wasn't quite right with Scott. He wasn't sitting up like our friends' kids and all that. So we did not have to go to Philadelphia. My pediatrician was not much help because he just said to not get attached to Scott, and he knew of a nice home, and I can't remember, it was Georgia, Alabama, something like that. So we just quit going to him. There was a center set up in Cincinnati, and that's where we got the orientation and set up a home room with all the equipment and everything, and had volunteers come in. That made it a little easier for me because you had that outside contact all the time, and you had people coming in to talk to, and so I think that helped me a lot. You weren't just in the house thinking, what am I going to do? So.
About that time, we were each getting our fill of doing that programming in our own home.
Stressful.
Hoping to be able to get a center started, and it seemed right only to do it in Eaton, county seat, where we could take the children there and not have to have the volunteers come in and do the program in our own home every day. I remember Judge Ziegel lived right across from my grandparents there at North Beach Street, and he was a member of the Presbyterian church, and he said he thought that we could rent the basement of the church for that program 5 days a week. And that was how we got the first center started. And then after we'd been doing that, I don't know, what, 2 or 3 years, that we decided that we needed to have our own place. So we had raised money and bought the church, and we needed the funding of the county board at that time. And I contacted someone in the State Department who was going to come down and meet with the county board and tell them why they needed to support the training center, and that was because they didn't have anything to offer. They were supposed to be providing a service for these individuals, and they weren't. They were only providing a service for those who were school age and could walk and talk and feed themselves. Those with physical handicaps weren't eligible. At that time then, I tried to solicit the names of families in the county that needed help with their children, and there were quite a few. And Mrs. Emery came down and told the board in no uncertain terms that if they didn't have something better to offer, then she told them that they should support our program, and they did.
And that was a great relief to me. And we have a board that oversees it all. I would say that saying you're lucky is kind of a strange thing to say, but they're lucky that their children are born now, because there's so many programs in place now, and it's recognized that parents need help. You can't do it all by yourself, and the early intervention is there. It's so important.
But I would just say take advantage of what your board and what your county has to offer, and don't be afraid to check things out and see what they can offer for your child. Just don't keep them at home. Just go ahead and try to find out what services, and they would maybe, if the board doesn't know, they could probably find out what they could do for your child. I'll have people that will come up and say hi to Scott and I don't know who they are, but they know him. So it's just amazing, all the people that respond to him, and some of them are people that maybe volunteered with him years ago too, and so I just think that's a really good experience. He's brought a lot of people.
You're known as Scott's
mom.
And you're Joey and Jessica's mother,
Yes.
and I'm Tony's mother.
Which is
I have
good.
no other.
Which is a good thing.
Hi, I'm Mara. I go to Happy Place day service during the day. We do a lot of stuff out in the community when COVID is not running rampant around. At home, I get staff from 5 o'clock till 10 a.m. and we do all sorts of stuff. We cook, we go out in the community, and I really like to ride my bike. They usually walk, unless they have a bike. So we do that, and then sometimes we get our homes together and ride bikes together around the neighborhood, which is a lot of fun. And I like doing TikToks. So yeah.
Hi, I'm Dina, and I am a DSP team leader for Free to Be You.
Hi, I'm Brittany. I am a client through the Board of DD, and we're here to talk about Staff Appreciation Day.
Brittany, what do you have to say about the staff at Free to Be You?
I love Free to Be You and the staff. They allow me to they live by their name. They allow me to be me. I'm free to be me, so I really appreciate that.
Is there anything more you'd like to say about the staff?
You guys are all awesome.
And what else would you like to say about Staff Appreciation Month?
Happy Staff Appreciation Month, everybody. And we so appreciate all the staff that takes care of us clients. Thank you.
What do you do fun with staff?
Take a walk. Go clubbing.
What does your staff do for you?
We went grocery shopping yesterday. Chili, talk.
Thank you for all that they do for me, and thank you for helping me be who I am.
Yes, it is very team oriented here working at the county board. That's why I like it. You know, if you don't know something, you can always collaborate with someone. It's easy to get in touch with another team member to help you brainstorm or figure something out, or that knows it or knows a contact. So we all work very closely together. All the SSAs are in one hallway, and they all work very well together. You know, everyone kind of knows everyone's individuals, so that's really nice. Since we're so small, we can get to know other people's individuals just by visiting day services or other homes, you know. So that's really good and helpful, because if someone is gone for a while or on vacation, then we can easily fill in.
I'm an assistant program administrator for Free to Be You. We just moved into a new building, so this role is kind of a little bit of a change for me. I mean, I think as far as the county board goes, my role is pretty much going to be the same as it's always been with them, but some of my job descriptions changed a little bit. And I've been with Free to Be You for about 5.5 years now. You know, we work with what we have as far as employees go for hours. We let everybody work whatever they'll give us. And that's kind of where we've always been, you know, just we figure our employees are happier, then they do a better job, and our clients are happier. And I think in order to be able to provide the services that our clients deserve without that relationship, I mean, you're trying to finish the job without all the tools. They've been instrumental in pretty much every step of this process, with even the new building. They've been very good about information about all the COVID stuff. They've been pinging us every week or so to make sure we're still on the radar and that there's nothing that they can do for us. So I couldn't be happier with the support we get from them, and prouder of the people who work for them. When this all started, we figured out real quick that we're going to have a way to get information, share information between providers and the county board. And the county board facilitated that. We started doing weekly meetings. And that really helped as far as the protocol and the things that we have to get in place before we open. They made it a little clearer than mud. And I mean, I would say this COVID thing is probably the biggest example of where we've had to really work with the county board, and it's been a learning experience. And like I said, I think we'd be in a significantly different place right now if we were left to our own devices to try to figure out all this on our own.
I've been open for 12 years here in Eaton. I have a second location in Greenville, and then we do residential services in 4 different homes. And I serve my daughter, which I think probably makes us unique. My daughter attends our day program and then also our residential services. And I think the Preble County Board does a fantastic job. I work with several different counties, and the SSAs with Preble are just very down to earth, which I find to be, you know, wonderful. I don't ever feel like I'm being overly criticized. I think I would describe it more as they're always just wanting to help. Whenever something arises, even if they feel like maybe we've done something wrong, it's never brought to me in a critical way. It's always just, you know, we want to fix this and make sure that it's being done correctly. So what can we do to help you? And I just find that to be so much more user-friendly of a system, you know. The staff at the Preble County Board have just been fabulous about being able to be helpful and talking things through and figuring out the best approach for lots of different things.
I'm over Darke County and Preble, also in Miami, but in Preble County we have 3 homes there and 3 group homes. So we do HPC service. We don't have day hab here, so just HPC service is what we do. I work well with them. I have a good relationship with them. They've always been very helpful. I have a situation right now with someone that's challenging, and I get total support from the SSA. And anytime I've needed anything from the SSAs, they've always, been very helpful. Well, definitely the individuals would suffer without, having the, because that's who, it's supposed to be about them and their services. So, they definitely would suffer. So would we. If I needed, help, I wouldn't have them to ask for, backup for different things to help me. So yeah, it's very important.
I feel like my relationship with the county board and with, I would say, every employee at the county board is great. I feel like that I've had support from them, always had support from them, one way, shape, or form. Now with the pandemic, I think that, I can only speak for myself, obviously, but I feel like that support has grown tremendously. Ashley had set up some, we were doing weekly meetings with providers. I think it's safe to say, I'll speak for everybody in the group, that really brought us together as a whole in Preble County. When you are your own workshop and you have all of these other providers that clients can go to, I've always been the one that said, hey, they have the best of all worlds. They can choose a day here, a day there. It's always been competitive, but I feel like that foundation that Ashley kind of laid when the pandemic hit, it just took on a different path, and we have been able to encourage and support and just bounce ideas off of each other. So I feel like the support that we're getting is, I hope that everybody's getting it, but I can only speak for myself. I feel like it's tremendous. I've always kind of felt like we're on an island on our own. So when you have a support system there, I can only speak for my company. We have, I think, 12 or 13 workshops in the state of Ohio, but we're so strung out. So when you have the support of your county board, that makes a difference. I can't imagine not having the support of the county board, because already feeling like you're on an island on your own is not great. But like I said, when the pandemic hit, it was, all hands on deck. Everybody was ready to jump in, help when needed, where needed. It didn't matter what your title was. It didn't matter who you worked for. We were here for the people. It didn't matter. We've come back to some basics, which I think is a good thing. I would say that continuing with the weekly or bi-weekly ADS meetings, just for admins to kind of be able to have that support system, be able to, even just through Zoom, we don't have to necessarily go meet. It really just has brought us, I think, closer together. I would like to see that continue. I, again, can only speak for myself. Other than that, nothing that I can think of. I think that we always have room to grow, learn. So I think that comes along with the territory. So I don't think that they necessarily, I can't say one thing that they have done that they should be doing or vice versa. Like I said, I've felt support.
My very first interest was when I saw my very first show, Sailor Moon, for the first time back in the 90s. And I was just very interested in the way the style of the art was constructed. I very much enjoyed the different little features of the characteristics of the cartoons. And so I would just practice and watch the shapes of the cartoons. And when I did, Years later, practice makes perfect, and I got good at drawing anime. What I get is a sense of joy when I see someone smile and see my art. It also allows me to express myself. I like to take my art and go different from the normal average art of anime, something that people will admire, and of course always make it true to myself. Something I've always believed in is that nothing good comes overnight. You have to take time and dedication to practice and to learn about it and use that knowledge to better yourself. The world and life is very unpredictable, but as long as we continue to be ourselves, and whether we are interested in music, whether we are interested in art, whether we're wreath makers, whether we're quilt makers, or whatever fascinates us, just always be true to you and continue to do what you love and you're passionate about. Don't judge a book by its cover. Unfortunately, because I'm so high functioning, and I come across as really normal to a lot of people. When I meet people, they don't think I'm disabled at first. They think I'm just normal kid out of high school, but I do suffer from anxiety and depression. People with disabilities, we come out of great tribulations, great things that we've been through. When I was a little girl, unfortunately, I was abused in all shapes and forms. And it was hard because that's what's created a lot of my disabilities, my anxieties, and the board of DD has been there for me tremendously. I went from a situation where I was living under some families' roofs, and I wanted to be independent. I wanted to get out of it. I knew that for me to succeed in life, I had to be independent. The board believed in me, and they saw potential in me. They saw someone who had been broken. There's this Japanese art that is real famous right now. It's where they take broken pottery and put seals in it. And the underlining message of this art is that just because you come from a broken state and place does not define who you are. It actually, your brokenness makes you beautiful. And so the board of DD has helped me to get my own apartment. I've even been able to reestablish peaceful relations with my family. I've been able to also be stronger as a disabled, independent woman. I have learned how to interact with people now, what's appropriate and what's inappropriate. And I've learned to socialize. I do have mild autism, and it's been a start of a horrible life, but ended in a great adventure in life, because even though you come from some crazy backgrounds does not mean that you can't come out of it and succeed in life. It's good to advocate for not only people with disabilities, but even people who've been through abuse. This world is constantly changing, and sometimes not even for the better. And we need to hear inspiring stories of people who have lived through things that other people say they've been through, and there's just so much hatred. I could hate everybody in the book for what I've been through, but I don't. I realize that love and forgiveness is essential to not only the people around you, but for you to succeed as a person. I can be who I want to be now without having to feel like the things I've been through weighs me down. There are days I still get depressed over things. It's an ongoing battle, but it does not defy who I am. So my message for people is just don't judge a book by its cover. Always see the quality in the book of the person. Don't try to see what shows on the front of the cover. I have a piece that's for sale, so if anybody is ever interested, it is for $45. I feel that's fair because I paid quite a bit for the frame and the intense work that it takes to draw a sketch. Yeah, so if anybody's ever interested, that's not a problem.
The mission of the Preble County Board of DD is to support individuals with developmental disabilities to live, learn, work, and socialize as they choose. it is important for us to first acknowledge those on the front line every day. Our DSPs, ADS, HCPs, ICFs, and the families of the individuals that we serve. Without our front line, we would not be able to do what we do for the individuals we serve. In order for us to continue to grow and serve our individuals, we have to see past the tunnel and recognize that we are all in this together. Community outreach and education have never been more important than it is right now. It took a pandemic to help each of us see what is truly important. The Preble County Board of Developmental Disabilities never closed their doors. Our individuals are our purpose. We are all essential in the fact that we focus on the individuals that we serve. We and our partners are now working together to promote self-advocacy by ensuring we focus on the person and their desired outcomes. By building partnerships through community outreach, we are able to collaborate on finding the right answers to the questions that many have always had but never asked. In short, we and our partner agencies are now working together where we once felt we were in competition. Another important note, the Preble County Board of Developmental Disabilities could not do what we do without volunteers who choose to give of their time. They are all vital in making a difference in our community. The Preble County Board of Developmental Disabilities has always had a vision to continue growing our team's passion and ability to serve our individuals so that we can continue to provide the best possible opportunity for our individuals with developmental disabilities to have the kind and quality of life he or she chooses. Mark Twain once said, "Find a job you enjoy doing, and you will never have to work a day in your life."